What are you making?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple, flaky and delicious fish pie with only a few ingredients. First thing I'm going to do is to cut the onion. You can use a small onion or a quarter of a large onion. So I'm just going to cut the onion into smaller pieces. When I'm done with the onion, I'm gonna set it aside. For the fish, I'm gonna be using 2 cans of sardines. These are soaked in olive oil, so I'm gonna be using the oil of 1 can. So I'm gonna pour the oil of 1 can into a saucepan and heat it over medium heat until it is hot enough. When it is hot enough, I'm gonna add the onion and saute until they are translucent. Those sardines have salt, but I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch. Once the onions are translucent, it is time to add the sardines. I have already drained the oil from the other can. We only need the oil of 1 can. After adding all the sardines, I'm going to use the spatula to break them down. I'm going to add a teaspoon of curry powder and a dash of dried pepper. I'm also gonna add a dash of garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic if you prefer. I will just let it cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, then I'll remove it from heat. After cooking it for 2 to 3 minutes, I'm gonna transfer it into a bowl and set it aside to cool down. Meanwhile, in another bowl, I'm gonna add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, and mix to combine. When I'm done, I'm gonna add half a cup of softened unsalted butter. You can use margarine if you want. I'm gonna mix the flour and the butter together until it looks like breadcrumbs. When you are done, this is what it should look like. So I'm gonna add half a cup of water. I'm gonna be adding the water gradually. In some cases, depending on how your flour was stored, you might need less or more water. That's why it is very important to add the water in gradually. You only need enough water to bind the flour together so that it forms into a ball of dough. As for the temperature of the water, you can use room temperature water or cold water. As for the dough, try not to overwork it. Just push everything together to form a ball of dough. Before I forget, I have other pie recipes. I'm going to leave the links in the description box. You can check them out later if you're interested. I'm going to wrap the dough in a plastic wrap and shape it a little bit, then let it rest for at least 30 minutes. And before you ask, you do not need to refrigerate it. So it is time to roll out the dough. You're gonna need some flour for dusting, and I'll be cutting the dough into 2 because it is easier to manage it that way. I'm gonna wrap up the other half while I roll out the other one. So the first thing you're gonna do before you roll out the dough is to dust your surface with flour so that the dough doesn't stick to the surface. So dust the surface and the rolling pin. So you're going to be rolling and lifting up the dough so that the dough doesn't stick, and roll from the inside out. As you are rolling the dough, make sure it is even on every side and make sure it is not too thin. It is time to cut the dough into circles. I have this set of pie cutter press. It cuts the dough and forms the shape. And if you don't have this, you can trace it out with a bowl or a saucer, then cut it out with a knife. I thought I could get 3 of the same size, but since it didn't work, I decided to use the smaller size. So I'm going to place the dough on top of the cutter, then fill it with the fish filling. Try not to overfill it because if you do, it is not going to seal properly and it might burst open later. Fold it over and press it tightly to get a very good seal. Then you can scrape off any excess. Look at it. Doesn't it look perfect? So I'm just gonna be repeating the same process until I'm done. Oh, before I forget, if this is your first time on my channel or you are a returning viewer and you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button and on the notification bell so that you can get an alert whenever I post a video. Like and share the video. Thank you and God bless you. Let me also use this opportunity to send a very special shout out to all those that have subscribed. You guys are the best. I love you. Thank you and God bless you. As you guys have noticed, I've been saving the excess from the cutout. So this is what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to press it together, roll it out to get more pie crusts. I'm going to repeat it several times until I exhaust the dough. Finally, this is what is left of the dough, a little piece of dough. I'm going to deep fry the pies, but you could bake them if you want. So I'm going to be using a lot of oil. I'm going to heat it over medium heat. When it is hot enough, I'm going to use that leftover dough to test it out. As you can see, the oil is hot enough, so I'm going to be dropping the pies in and fry them on both sides until they are golden brown or any shade you like. They are usually ready between 7 to 10 minutes or more depending on the shade you prefer. As usual, I'm going to repeat the same process with the rest until I'm done. So the pies are ready. They are very beautiful and also extremely delicious. You don't even need a lot of ingredients and the taste is out of this world. You need to try it to believe it. And this pie is so flaky. That is one other thing I like about it. Let me show you what I mean. Look at it, very crispy and flaky. Now that you know how to make fish pie, why don't you give this recipe a try? I promise you, you're gonna enjoy it. Your friends and family will love it too because this is very, very delicious. In case you're looking for a business idea, this is a perfect one. It is cost effective and you can do it from the comfort of your home and it is very delicious. So thank you guys for watching. Till I see you next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.